I'm with...
Elsie-May Baker.
And you're a dancer.
I am.
I mean,
Singer.
a dancer singer.
Yeah.
Okay, how long have you been doing that?
Abroad for about 8 years now, but my whole life growing up.
Because I met you before and I didn't realise I knew you, but I didn't know you. I just met you and you were with a dance group in Jersey. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, there was very little work in Jersey for dance
Yeah,
troupes.
there still is, maybe less now even. Nothing.
It is
why
strange.
I work away. Yeah.
So you're working where?
I work for a cruise line out of Miami, Carnival Cruise Lines.
All sounds very glam.
Yeah. Well, it is glam. The job is glam. The lifestyle, not so much. I would say.
Really?
Yeah.
So where did you become? How did you become a dancer? Did you have to train?
Yeah, I trained over here at Jersey Academy, School of Dancing, and then I moved to London. I went to a little musical theatre college called Lane Theatre Arts, and then from there I went on to work for the company I work for now.
How did you get to work for that company? Did you have to go to an audition?
Yeah.
Where's that? Where did you do that?
In London, Pineapple Studios, which is a very famous audition studio.
Is it very competitive?
Yes. So the audition I went to, there was about 550 people. I think they took about 40 to 50 people from that audition. So I was quite lucky that day.
And you're on cruise ships?
Yeah.
Mostly. Did you ever work on land?
I do little bits here when I'm back.
Right.
Luckily, I'm always back during the summer.
Right.
So that's when there's most of like the corporate work and bits here and there. But nothing. If there were shows over here, I would do them, but there isn't really.
I mean, I had no idea about cruise ships, but there are a lot of cruise ships and they've all got cabarets on. So there is quite a lot of work, isn't there?
Yeah, there is a huge amount.
Do you go around from different cruise ships, or is it yours?
Same company. I do a different ship
Right.
every time.
Right.
So every contract I go away, I work on a different ship, but it's always within the same company.
So what's the routine? You turn up at Miami. They put you on your ship, give you all your routines.
No, so we do we have a big rehearsal studios in Miami. It has about 6 to 8 studios there, and we show up there for like 6 to 8 weeks. They put us up, learn everything, and then we all go to the ship, have 2 weeks to put up the shows, and then that's it. 6-month contract from there.
Oh, so it's quite intensive.
Yeah,
6-8 weeks. And is it routines you're familiar with, or do you have to...
It depends. Now that I've been with them for so long, yes, I do know most of the shows.
How do you rate the standard? Because it always looks very, very high standard. You see bits of film.
It is, it's very high, yeah. I think people are surprised, people that go to cruise and watch the shows are surprised at how high the standard is. Because it has quite a name. People think that if you're not good enough to work in London or New York, you'll go and work on a ship, but that's definitely not the case now.
No.
For me, I prefer it because I get to do different shows every night. I'm not doing the same. For me, working in London wouldn't be great because I wouldn't want to do the same show every night.
Well, I suppose to a large extent it's taking up all the seasonal work that used to be, all the holiday resorts around Britain.
Yeah.
Basically, it's all floating, isn't it? It's all that's what it is.
True. Yeah.
So that same standard, it was the top end of showbiz, was on the end of the pier.
True.
And that's on the end of on your...
Yeah, that's exactly true.
How many cruises do you do in a year?
Gosh. They're usually 7-day cruises.
Right.
And I'm there for 6 months. However many that is, my math is terrible.
So when do you get to see the places the ships go?
Yeah, most days.
And you're allowed on and off the ship and that's all right?
Pretty much every day. Unless something comes up where we need to have a rehearsal, if somebody's ill or, I don't know, something's broken on the ship or something's happened, we have training, like safety training, which we have a lot of. Apart from that, yeah, we're off every day.
And when you're dancing, I can't dance. I can't imagine how you can dance on a ship that's moving, because they do wobble about a bit.
Yeah, they do a lot.
Is that a problem?
Sometimes, yeah, it depends. We've had to have a lot of shows cancelled whilst I've been working, and we have something that's called a concert version. So because obviously we all sing, what we'll do is not cancel the show, but have us all sit on stools and sing the show so we just take out the dancing and the costumes. So that's like the B version of a show when it's a rocky night. We try not to do that because obviously it's not as appealing to the guests, but it's better than cancelling the shows.
So on every day, you 7 days, or once you're on a cruise?
Yep. Well, we don't dance. So we have like 4 big show nights a week.
Right.
2 smaller and then 1 night off usually.
Oh, so you get a night off?
Yeah.
And the rest of the day when you're not dancing, you're just sitting there in your deck chair drinking
Yep.
nice
Water.
water.
We're on the beach. Yep. Yeah, that's it, pretty much.
So how do you rate it? Good job?
I love it. I love it. The only thing I would change is maybe the length of the contracts.
Right.
It's quite a long time to be away. So 8 months is my next one. If I could do like 4 months at a time and come back for 1 or 2, that would be great.
They're all different, because they're different nationalities, they speak different languages. Everybody presumably speaks English.
They have to work for our
That's part of the game.
American,
That's part of the,
yeah.
okay. We talked about the dancing, what about the singing? Where does that come in?
Well, I'm actually now classed as like the lead vocalist, so I've kind of swapped positions in the last couple of years. Yeah, I just had to take some training. It's changed my job a lot because now I have to be very careful of my voice. Going off the ship, if I have shows that night, I can't be out the whole day on the beach wearing my voice out. Yeah, it's quite a full-on job now.
Would you like to be a solo singer?
That's what I do.
You do solo singing? Okay.
Yeah, that is.
I mean, there's this famous lady who's on the cruise liners, I forget her name is, because I don't watch them, but she's a singer on a cruise line, but she's become quite a big name in, what's the lady's name? MacDonald is her name? Have you ever encountered her on your cruises?
No, I've not.
No, different type of cruise.
Was it?
So is that like lounge singing more as opposed to
Not
production
your sort of
shows?
no.
Okay.
You do production shows. Jane McDonald can't
yeah.
dance. She's not a.
No, that's more of the
As far as the entertainers like you is there a particular cruise line you say with, oh, I'd really like to work for them, that's the one I'd like to be with?
the one I work for.
Is it?
Either mine or Royal Caribbean. They have some good shows too. Yeah, they're I think the top 2 for shows wise, for standard of shows. And they're the best to work for directly because I work for Carnival Cruise Lines and they own every other cruise line except for Royal. So to work directly through them, it works out best for me. They look after us the best.
So how many entertainment staff are there on a ship? How many?
Oh, it depends on the size of ship. I was on a really big one a couple of years ago and there was 70 in the entertainment department. But that includes like the cast, the musicians, the entertainment hosts, technicians, everybody. So it's quite a big department. Yeah.
And what happens if somebody falls out? They don't get on. What do they have a good arrangement?
Got to get on with it.
You
Just got to get on with it. Sort it out. And it happens. People who work in entertainment usually have quite large personalities, so you do get a lot of clashes. And because we live in like the same quarters, we live in a corridor all together. It's very close. It happens. You just got to get on with it.
Injuries? I mean, is that all dealt?
Yeah, also happens. For me, in my job, if you get injured, you get sent home straight away. So we are very careful not to. So obviously, you lose your job instantly, you get sent home. They do look after you though. We're covered with medical and all of that.
When you meet your people that you went to school with in Jersey, presumably, are they jealous that you're whizzing around the world doing living the life of a perpetual cruise?
Maybe a little because of the weather, because I'm always in nice hot places. But I think they understand the sacrifices I have to make to be out there and not able to be here for all kinds of things I'd like to. So half and half.
Looking at you, but obviously men do the same job. Is it mostly women who do it?
No,
or
half and half. So my cast is a cast of 8 people, 4 guys, 4 girls. So yeah, there's many guys.
And do you meet the same people next year? Will you have the different people? Or?
It's usually completely different. I've actually requested to go somewhere because of 2 of my bosses. So I'll be with 2 of the same people next time. But no, completely different usually, which is nice. Mixes it up a lot.
It's a different world out there, isn't it?
It really is. Yeah, can't really explain
What's
it.
the worst aspect of it?
The length of the contract, definitely.
Is it?
For me, yeah. And they're not having the freedom to come home when I wanted to. So for example, I have a wedding I'd like to be here for in July, but I can't take a day off whenever I feel like it, or come home for a weekend to see the family or anything.
They get quite a lot of cruise ships going to Guernsey. A few come in here. Have you ever been in?
Yeah.
Have you ever been into the islands on
No,
one?
my company's, the ships are too big. They
Yeah.
wouldn't come here. It's only tiny ships with a couple hundred passengers here. The ship I'm going to next has like 2,500-3,000 passengers, so it couldn't even come near
What's
these islands.
the largest one that you know of for ship?
That I know of. I know there's a new ship that's got think 6,000 passengers. That's a Royal
Really?
Caribbean ship.
6,000.
6,000 passengers.
And the same number of crew, presumably?
No, I think it's 2,500-ish crew,
Is it?
which is absurd. Can't even imagine. Yeah.
And they all
I
want
think
their...
we all know each other, but with that many crew, surely you can't all know
And they
each
all
other.
want their boiled eggs done to perfection.
Exactly, yeah. That's crazy. Yeah.
How do you keep so slim if you're on these ships? Because I hear it's food, food, food.
It is, but in my experience, quality isn't the greatest. So that's how I keep in shape, is by not liking the food. And the shows are very, very intense. So I'm having to train and work out a lot. And being on the beach every day, you want to be in good shape. Yeah,
You play sport?
not really.
No? It's just dancing
Just
is
a lot of
sufficient.
dancing. Yeah. Yeah.
In 10 years' time, do you see yourself as a singer or...
Definitely a singer. I think that's not why I took it up, but it's a perk of why I've taken it up, is the life expectancy is a lot longer. Dancers have to pack it in a lot sooner with injuries and you lose your ability, whereas I could sing.
You might become a
Years and
television
years and years,
personality,
yeah.
judging other acts, like What's My Favourite Girlfriend, what's her name? Darcy.
Oh, Darcy Bessel, ballerina. Yeah.
Isn't she?
Yeah, she's incredible.
She did a programme about Fred Astaire, which was absolutely wonderful, because Fred Astaire is an amazing dancer.
Yeah,
And her charm, it was riveting stuff.
yeah, she is amazing.
Well, we're going to end there, but if you anything else you want to tell me?
No, I think you've got a lot from my crazy life to be continued.
Thank you. Well, we'll come back and tell us the next chapter.
I will.
Thanks
for
for watching.
having me.